everybody, Rodney Fish on Forte here. Today I'll be making your basic bottom rig. This bottom rig that I'll be making today can catch anything from triggerfish, sea bass, maybe occasional flounder, and of course those ringtail pinfish that everyone despises so much. What I have here is a 100-pound test mono. You can use fluorocarbon. I have some 1.0 sleeves, and the 1.0 sleeves are rated from 60 to 100 pounds. So your sleeve capacity has to coincide with your line capacity. In this case, it's a 100-pound mono, so I use a 100-pound sleeve. I also have a swivel. I think that's a 150-pound, swivel. 150-pound test. And I also have a 150-pound test snap swivel. A lot of people don't use the snap swivels. You can. It doesn't matter if you use it or not, and I'll show you what you can do with this snap swivel. Alright, the first thing we need to do is to easily generate a bottom rig, create a bottom rig, is to get your line, loop it. Okay, as you see, I have a loop there. At this time, you want to take that line over itself about 6 times. So that's 1 time on each side, that's 2. Another time on each side, that's 4. And the final time is 6. I'm going to go through on this one more time. Okay. Now as you see, I have a big overhand knot. Now, all you need to do is this center twist right here. You open up that center twist, and you feed your loop through that twist, ensuring that you have enough line when you pull that twist through to insert a hook into this part of your line. And I'll show you that in a second. Okay, as you can see, I got a little figure 8 action going on here. I want to pull that line. Now, before I cinch this line down tight, I need to wet it. And we're going to go field expedient here. If you're out in on the ocean or whatnot, I'm just going to wet it, just like so. You can grab this with your tongue. You can put it on a cleat or whatever. I'll grab it with my teeth in this case, ensuring not to bite down on the line itself. And just pull both ends of your line. Okay, as you can see, I have a loop there, like so. Okay, I'll come down, seeing how far that loop is. I'll come down a little bit further, and I'll do the same thing again. I'll create a loop. And I'll go over that line over itself approximately 6 times. 4. 4 on this side. It's a little tough because the line is so thick, heavy pound test here. And 1 more. Okay, like so. We have our 6 twist again. Gonna go through that middle twist with the loop. Pulling it up with my fingers here. Before the line gets tight, I want to lubricate it. That lubrication keeps that line from burning. Okay, you don't want to have a burnt monofilament or fluorocarbon because it's easy to break once it burns. Okay, as you can see, I got 2 loops, 2 dropper rigs there. Okay, that's where my hooks are going to go. Now, since I have those created, I'm going to go to the top of my leader. I'm going to put on that 100-pound test sleeve, just like so. Okay, I'm going to put on my 150-pound test swivel. I'm going to take that tag in and run it back through the sleeve. Like so. Okay. A lot of people just go ahead and cinch their sleeve down. I like to create a mushroom on my tag in. So I just light the line a little bit, then I tap it on the lighter. It creates a mushroom. Okay. I push the sleeve down to the mushroom. As you can see, I have my swivel there. I just pull this end of my line until I have my desired loop, like so. Okay, once I have my desired loop, I use my crimpers to crimp my sleeve, ensuring that I'm using the 1.0 hole on my crimpers. In this case, mine says 0.5 to 1.0 is the second hole. So I'll ensure that that sleeve is in the second hole. Okay, and at that point I'll crimp down, ensuring that my sleeve is standing up. You always want your sleeve taller than it is longer when you put it inside your crimp. Okay, got a good crimp on that. Like so, and you can tell I have a good crimp because it's flared on either side of my crimp. When you have a flare on either side of your crimp, that's letting you know that you have a good crimp. Okay, as you can see, that'll be my end that the line connects to here from the reel. I have a hook here, and I have a hook here, and down at the bottom, and this is where the swivel comes into play. Okay, this snap swivel can be placed on the bottom using a sleeve, so you can use sinkers that just latch onto the snap swivel and change your different weights on your sinkers. Some people don't do that. Some people just use this tag in and tie in a bank sinker, and that's fine too. Whatever suits you, whatever's better for you to get that bait down to the bottom and make it available for those triggerfish, for those black sea bass, you name it, those bottom dwellers around the reef there. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and attach the snap swivel just to show everyone how to do it. Once again, we're going to insert the sleeve here. Insert that line through the sleeve. And this is kind of hard to do. The reason it's hard to do is because the tag end of this line is flared. There's a fix for that. All you have to do is cut it at an angle. It's my son's scissors. Cut it at an angle, and it's more of a point, and you have to slide through that sleeve better. But I didn't do that. I'll do it on the next one. Okay, now my snap swivel. Okay, and now I'm going to push this end back through the sleeve. My tag end goes back through the sleeve again. Okay, there's my tag end. Once again, we're going to use our lighter to flare that tag in. Like so. Pull that sleeve down to that flare. Then we're going to pull this end of the line to create the desired loop that we want at the bottom. Okay, once again, we're going to use our crimpers. Remember, this is 1.0. So I go to the 1.0 hole, which on my swivel, on my crimp, is the second hole. And ensuring that nothing's in the way, I'm going to go ahead and crimp this line. Okay, got a good crimp there. Pop her out. I have a good flare on both sides of that crimp. I've just created a bottom rig. And you can create 100 of these things if you want, just sitting around watching television and whatnot. You hook your swivel up to your line when you're ready to fish, and you can put your assorted weights on the bottom. Like I said, you don't have to use a snap swivel. You can use a bank sinker or whatever as well and just tie it to the bottom. Using a snap swivel just makes it easier for certain types of weights to be added or taken off.